What's up, guys?
Hey, what's going on?
Man, you guys' comments are awesome. We really appreciate all the great conversation and these brave comments. They're blowing our minds. Do you guys read each other's comments? Because you should. Here are a couple that we wanted highlighted. Ba-bam.
It's a highlighter.
Oh.
A lot of you commented that you liked the movie, which is fine, but I want to give a specific shout out to Shiny Teacup, who said while they were watching a review analysis of the movie that she felt dumb, like she had been watching the movie wrong the whole time. That's not what we want to convey. And that's entirely our fault. Me and Adam got a little emotional while we were viewing this movie, and so we never intended to try to put down or offend anybody about how they would feel about this film. We were just trying to analyze and discuss how we felt about the film. And furthermore, we're just two guys. Like, feel free to tell us that we're wrong or if we're being a little unfair about something. The last thing we want to happen is for me and Adam to get so engrossed in our own ideas that we can't even step back and consider the fact that we might be wrong. That aside, Brave was lame, and shame on you for liking it, so.
A lot of you guys brought up the whole director switch and how Brenda Chapman was originally the director and how she kind of got demoted to co-director and stuff. And I definitely agree with a lot of you. I think a lot of that whole production switch and stuff really lended to the big kind of messy story, and probably they were pushing production like they'd probably been working on the story for so long. They were money, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, I definitely think that's actually a big reason to why the story came off so convoluted and just didn't end up being what it could have been.
Where are these analogies coming from? How are you people composing these thoughts and finding ways to relate them to this film? It's absolutely magical, and I encourage you more. So many more.
Paloma SB brings up a really cool point that I very much agree with. She goes into how the suitors for Merida are like, they're all goofballs and they're all like not really like people she'd even be interested in. So why would she not want her freedom? Like, it would have been such a stronger point if like these were actually like suitable suitors, you know? And then she's like, no, I want my freedom. The fact that they were all just like dingus bats was just like, why? Of course she doesn't want to be with these guys. So yeah, Paloma SB, solid comment.
So we got a lot of feedback about the face scene, and I think the one comment that really sums it all up is this one by Boxy McBox. She does it in two parts, where she talks about what they were trying to do in the scene, and then what actually is happening in the scene. And it's awesome, because me and Adam have almost the exact same thoughts about why this scene just didn't work. We understand what they're going for, but because there's not all the setup and whatnot that's supposed to be happening in the story, it just doesn't come off right. I would really say read that comment. It probably just reflects the way most people have been talking about it. But it's just a nice sum up and it's very well laid out for you to understand.
Soliloquies has a really long comment, brings up a lot of cool things, and I really encourage you guys to read it. One thing in particular is when she talks about the crown scene, when she puts the crown on the rock and then they really kind of emphasize it. I think she brings up a really cool point, and totally check it out. Marina 2 brings up how there's a lot of potential in a lot of the moments between their mother and daughter relationship, and she talks about the tapestry scene when she cuts the tapestry and it visually shows the separation of their relationship. I agree, that's really cool imagery. I think it's just visually showing their separation. It's great, it's awesome. It's just weird how, you know, it does come around to be the tapestry. And I think this transitions well into Night Gina's comment where she talks about being disappointed when, at the very end, Merida's like, everything was my fault, blah, 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 blah. But the whole story was built on how both of them needed to sacrifice something, and both of them were just as much as fault, and they were both right and both wrong. And I think it is an interesting point relating back to the tapestry. Like, why did the tapestry have to be fixed? Why didn't Merida's mom have to fix the bow, you know? So definitely both of you, quality things to say. We enjoyed them. Everybody should check them. If you haven't already checked it out, we reblogged Jasubeau's blog posts and response stars, and I think she brings up a lot of cool points, just especially in the idea of danger, that sure, it's a film with a younger audience in mind, but like she brings up like Mulan and some other films that really, they have really convincing danger, which only heightens sort of the storytelling, the stakes, the story of it. The last comment I'd like to bring up is Apples and Honey talks about how both this movie and Frozen, how they're trying to break out of these kind of grips of Disney traditions, and how it's disappointing that the stories weren't really that solid. And I very much agree with, because, you know, their stories were solid and both of them had really solid themes. but I'd really like to just have a conversation with you guys. I don't really understand why everybody gets so excited about these films having like these strong female characters. Like, I have nothing wrong with it, and it's great that they are there. It's just, I don't feel like Disney hasn't ever had strong female characters. Like, sure, if you go back far enough to like Cinderella or whatever, she's kind of lame. But like a lot of those like Renaissance films, like Mulan, Lilo and Stitch, Beauty and the Beast, like I feel like all three of those movies have really solid characters who are just females, and because it has a solid story and the characters are girls, then those themes are really strong and we really get behind it and it says a lot more. Like, I think that's where Brave and Frozen really fail, because they get too caught up in like, yes, we are a movie about girls, and then it kind of just falls flat on the story. Whereas Lilo and her older sister, like, those are really great characters that you really can get attached to, and because you're attached to them and because you're attached to their like struggles as a family, like, then the themes of family just are there and they're strong and penetrate our culture. Whereas Frozen, it doesn't have that solid story, so its themes of kind of sacrificial familial love just come off sort of overly blatant, and you're just like, I don't know. I don't get why everybody's so like hyped, just like, yeah, it's new and different. I'm just like, Disney does this all the time. They like telling stories about girls. So I'd really just like to know you guys' opinions on that and why everybody's so excited that these films are new and have these strong female characters. Like, I feel like these characters actually come off flatter because the stories aren't really that strong. So thanks a bunch, guys, for all your comments. We super enjoy just the open discussion. You guys are really great, and like, just you guys' conduct is awesome, and just how open we are to discuss all these films.
It's super cool. We're super into it. But keep commenting, keep talking. We'll keep looking at it. We'll keep reading it. And it's always good to just be growing and learning and knowing new stuff that other people have to bring to the table with their opinions on things. So, yeah.
Comment, like, subscribe. Follow us on MySpace. Instant Messenger.
We got a Zanga.
We got a Zanga. We don't got a Zanga. Don't look for us. Is Zanga still a thing?
Can we make one?
I don't know if it's still a thing.
2 million blog off. Follow us on Zanga, guys!
We got a Zanga!
We're gonna make a Zanga!
We're not gonna make a Zanga.